welcoming to the stage Amanda Marty.
Hi, everyone. Before I start, I want to say thank you for all of you just listening to me and being here in our fight. You have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you. Okay. So, though my speech isn't as moving or as powerful as those before me, it still is something I believe a lot of you should hear, and especially those young people, both high schooler and below, should be able to hear.
Thank you, audio guy.
Hello, my name's Amanda Marty, and I'm a sophomore at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Thank you for being here today and supporting our fight. Here is my story from that day. When the fire alarm rang on Valentine's Day, we went outside like usual. I got separated from my teacher, along with about 5 other students. Suddenly, everyone was running back to the school. I was in 2-inch heels and I couldn't run, a wardrobe decision I have learned to think twice about. The 5 students and I got back to our classroom. However, our teacher wasn't there, and the door was locked. We ran into a classroom that a teacher waved us into with about 30 other students. I was separated from my other 5 classmates, and I was left with no one I knew to sit out that hour. We had a walkie-talkie in our room. We sat there, listening to every word that was coming out of that radio. Nicholas Cruz, find anything you can in his file, is one of the 2 sentences I remember hearing. The other is 1200 building. I knew so many people in that building. My friend, who I had given an enormous hug to not only an hour before, suddenly became one of the people I feared I might never see again. After what seemed like an eternity, I remember the SWAT team or police officers bursting into the classroom. The room was too dark and I could not tell who it was. I heard sobs and so much yelling. We were all terrified, but slowly I realized that they were there to escort us out of the school. Once I was outside, I did not know who was safe and who was still inside or who may never leave the school alive. I did not reunite with both my parents until 6 o'clock that night. I did not hear from all my closest friends until 7 o'clock. 5 hours of waiting. Throughout my school career, we have practice drills in case there's an active shooter or a bomb threat. Why must our society function this way? As Cameron Kasky said, we are the mass shooting generation. My 13-year-old little brother shouldn't have to worry whether or not an active shooter is going to come on campus and kill him or his friends. This isn't normal. We cannot accept that this is normal and that nothing can be done. No student should have to fear for their life when they go to school. No student should wonder, will I make it home safely today? Or is today the day I die? As you have seen, we students are no longer putting up with school shootings as a regular part of our society. That is not the type of society we should live in. People constantly tell us what we can or cannot do based on our race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, political standings, etc. And now they're using our age. Nobody should place limits on what we say or what we believe based on any of these things. In my advanced placement world history class, my fantastic teacher, Miss Wilk Rogers, taught us about revolutions. All of them are from different places and times in history. The definition of a revolution is an overthrow and thorough replacement of an established government. And or political system. systems by the people governed. In a matter of years, the students from my school and high schools across the country will be voting. These people we may or may not be voting for are telling us that we're too young to be doing this, that we're too young to understand. For those that tell us we're too young to understand, I challenge you to put yourself in our position. Imagine what it's like to sit in a classroom for an hour not knowing whether your best friend's okay, worrying whether or not the last conversation you had with someone was a stupid joke neither of you laughed at. Try to imagine what it's like to sit there and hear the bullets, the screaming, the crying, the police sirens, and all the helicopters. When you have experienced what I have experienced, then see if you have the nerve to tell me to my face that I am too young to understand how the world works. They say to me that I'm not old enough to take part in a revolution. Think of the American Revolution. Think of our founding fathers and the leaders of that revolution. Many of them were in their early 20s. They weren't much older than us here today. If they could do it, why can't we? We will be the change. We will be the change we want to see in the world.